Hello there, Ray here. We got a brand new Java snapshot. This is 25W04A. They actually did something pretty different this snapshot, and they came back and reverted a bug that they fixed earlier. This has to do with the player moving while crouching. If you just crouch and go forward, you move at a pretty slow speed. But if you crouch and push down two keys at the same time and then just angle yourself so you're moving in that direction, you end up moving 40% faster than before. And this wasn't intended overall inside the game of Minecraft, but since this was used in speed bridging, where going diagonal will make you go faster than if you just go one direction. This also affected parkour, as well as just movement in general, so they decided to revert it back, but they did say that they were planning on revisiting this inconsistency in the future. Now this wasn't specific to crouching, it was actually applies to anything where your player ends up walking more slowly when they're doing something such as like charging their crossbow or eating or anything that would slow you down. They also reverted back a second bug that they fixed last week. That has to do with something that's very similar to the previous, but instead if you're sprinting and then you happen to eat something, you would continue to have that faster momentum from the sprinting earlier. And when they fixed this bug last week, there was a lot of people that would complain about this as they had already got used to this behavior over the years. So today, once again, this is reverted back so that you get the little bit faster boost if you start sprinting and then eat or do anything else that's related to you normally slowing down. What do you think about them reverting back bugs that are clearly bugs but are used quite often throughout Minecraft? In general, some things are just kind of slow in the game of Minecraft, so I don't mind it being slightly faster. But I also don't do any PvPing or speed bridging or parkouring, as I'm just not really that coordinated. Now if you charge your bow with special types of arrows, it will now display this information when the crossbow is charged. You can see it now, it says exactly what type of projectile is inside of it, arrow of poison, and then the duration of it. This is just how like crossbows that were holding rockets tell all the information. In creative mode, you can get exact copies of all types of blocks, and if you do control pick block, you can get an exact copy of the one that you just picked up with all the details inside of it. But shulker boxes were unique, where they would actually show you what items were inside of it when you had an exact copy of what you have in front of you. They also now added this for chest as well, so if I throw a bunch of junk in here, and then if I would control pick block in this chest right here, I'll now get an exact copy, and it will also display the first 5 items that will be inside of this chest if I place it down. But getting exact copies of containers is only something you can do in creative. But for those of you guys that use your saved hotbars, it is pretty nice because I have some chests in here and I can never recall exactly what's inside of them, and now I can easily see what's inside of them, and they added this to all containers now in the game. They also separated the splash potions as well as the lingering potions. Now they are separate entities, so if you're doing like summon potion, you see you get to choose between a lingering potion or a splash potion. But it seems like the entity model is missing for the lingering one. If you would give yourself a filled map, where most maps would look like this, these glitch ones would say unknown map. But now instead of appearing as a glitched item, it will just look like a normal map that doesn't display anything. They also added in a new language into Minecraft for the country of Kyrgyzstan, which is a language that's written both in Cyrillic as well as Arabic types. Last week we seen several changes to bubble columns to make them more consistent, and now they made it work for the wind charges. The trim pattern as well as the trim material will no longer be specified when it comes to actually the trim registries, but instead will be linked to the specific items. As you can see hovering over top of this one, it says it applies to armor, and the ingredients it needs are ingots or crystals. This will let people that make datapack mods have a lot more freedom to do more things with these items without being so restricted. But the biggest changes for the snapshot was a bunch of updates for the data packs, including new components and item model capabilities. A lot of these changes allow it so people can easily modify the game without having to actually modify the Minecraft code. And they can do this using data packs, and they did this a few different ways, such as like adding different tags in the game, so you can like make your horse wear any type of item, or making damage types that ignore shields. You also can change what biome mobs specifically check for if they can spawn into, or make things change depending on the moon phases. They also move different textures into assets so you can easily modify them, and you can specify how long it takes you to actually use your shield to block something, as well as a cooldown for the shield before you can use it again. You now have the ability to make items get damaged more than normal if they're getting used in certain ways, as well as special components for breaking sounds, banner patterns, and the trim materials. That new tooltip display that we also seen has several options on how you want to have everything being displayed. They also came in and renamed different components to make them more consistent with what they do. If you're someone that works with data packs, let me know how useful these changes are. And they also came in and updated the resource packs with a few different things. If you guys want to see all this in detail, I will have it linked below. Now with the last two snapshots introduced some new bugs by accident, so they came in and fixed a wide variety of different ones. Some had to do with the new leaf litter, others had to do with the new testing block, and there was even some bug fixes to do with noises. If you want to see them in detail, I'll put them in the description. The website that Minecraft uses for people to report bugs is moving. This is because they're being hosted by Atlassian and they're no longer providing support to the servers. This means all the information from the reporting is going to be moved over to a cloud version of the Mojang. And since they're moving everything over to their cloud, you need your permission in order to move your account over. So once you click this link right here, this will send you to the report page and you can log into your account and then choose to move over the data during the migration. Or you can choose just to move over the bugs as well as your associated personal data, but your account itself won't be transferred. Or you can choose not to move over your personal information. So any of your account information that is on any of the bugs will be removed, but the bugs themselves will still be transferred over. And then once you chose whichever one you want, you just click submit, and then it just confirms that your stuff is going to be moved over. So I think this mostly just applies to the information that comes along with your character, such as like your name popping up over here, any comments you made, as well as maybe the history that goes along. Otherwise, if you don't move your account over and you do want to report a bug, you'll have to make a new account. Help me continue making videos like this by becoming a supporter like all these lovely people. And don't forget, I do live stream 4 times a week, and I'm currently trying to design a new copper farm after the recent nerf that uses an ender dragon. See you all over there. Bye bye!